Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today I am bringing you another episode of Eyeshadows and Tea, and today we are featuring the e.l.f. Opposites Attract palette. Yay! You guys do not know how long I've been waiting for this palette, so if you're ready, then I'm ready, so let's get started. Before we get started, I do want to say welcome to all of our new family members, and those of you who may not be familiar with me yet, my name is Leah Garrett, and I am a cruelty-free makeup and beauty reviewer. I am a makeup enthusiast, not a makeup artist, and a plus-size beauty and a PNH and ITP fighter. If you'd like to know more about those two diseases, there are videos down below that you can watch. So, yeah, this bad boy right here, this is the e.l.f. Opposites Attract palette, and this was the hardest thing for me to get my hands on. I have been waiting since the beginning of September to get this bad boy, and I finally got her. And you guys have been wanting me to review this palette plus more inexpensive brands, so I figured I would do that. And today's topic that we're going to talk about with Eyeshadows and Tea are indie brands. I have a lot to talk about where it comes to indie brands. So first, before we get started into the tea, let's go ahead and talk about this eyeshadow palette. This bad boy right here was really hard for me to get my hands on, but you guys requested that I do a review on it, and like I said, your wish is my command. So, yeah, this is the e.l.f. Opposites Attract palette, and basically what this is, it is, I'm going to take it out of the plastic sleeve so I'm not blinding with the reflection. You have 18 shadows overall. You have 9 warm tone shades, and then you have 9 cool tone shades, which you don't see that in a palette very often. And I think it's really cool for e.l.f. to bring this kind of concept to a palette. It does have a description on the back of the sleeve, so let's go ahead and read that. It says, this 18 pan eyeshadow palette contains 9 warm tones, 9 cool tone shades with neutral and vibrant pops of color to achieve subtle or bold looks. The luxe formula is smooth, creamy, blendable, and ultra pigmented. Create artistry level or everyday looks effortlessly with this perfectly arranged palette designed to inspire you. Now, they do have a variety of mattes to satins to shimmer, mattes to satins to metallics. Here on the warm side, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mattes, and then you have 1, 2, 3 metallic shades. Over here on the cool side, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 matte shades, a satin shade, and then you have 2 metallic shades right here. This is actually like a really nice collection of colors here. Like, you can take this as a travel palette and have just about anything that you need. I actually kind of think this, color setting's pretty cool. I think today we're going to go for an orangey brown look for the fall time. Granted, it doesn't feel like fall. It was like legit 80 degrees here today. Today's Tuesday. It was 80 degrees here. And I was like, why is it 80 degrees in November? Yeah. But, so yeah, let's go ahead and, start making this look and talk about indie brands. Hi everyone. Right. So, let's talk indie brands, shall we? Because I love me some indie brands, you guys know. Of course, I will be doing my right eye on camera, my left eye off camera, as always. For my base shade, I am going to go in with this shade Fresh right here, which is this matte cream color. So, yeah. In case you don't know what an indie brand is, I mean, but it's okay. There are people out there who don't know the difference between an indie brand and a bigger brand. That's fine. My classification of an indie brand is a brand that is not accessible in stores like big name stores as like an Ulta, Sephora, Target, Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, you know, big name stores, big name retail chains, we shall say. The indie brands tend to be more on the e-commerce side, which means that they do most of their business online. And the number of indie brands that have come up over the years is just astronomical. Next, I'm going to go into this shade Sassy right here as my transition. That's a awesome name. I love that name. If I can, I don't know if it's my brush or what, but I did have a little bit of a hard time picking that up. Oh, she's pigmented. Now you can also classify indie brands into two categories, and you have bigger name indie brands and then you have smaller indie brands. The bigger indie brands are the ones that are like your Jeffree Star Cosmetics, Gerard Cosmetics, Makeup Geek was one until she got her Target deal. What else? Beauty Bakery was one until she got her Ulta deal. There are a bunch of them out there. Bigger name brands. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I can't think off the top of my head. Lime Crime was one before they went into Ulta stores. You guys get the gist. And then you have your smaller indie brands that do a lot of business on Instagram, on Etsy, or Facebook. And some of them are relatively new and some of them are relatively known. So that basically is the gist of what an indie brand is. Okay, that shade actually looks really good. I actually really like it. All right, now, next, I'm gonna go in with, okay, I think I'm gonna go in with this shade right here, Cheeker, and put that on top of my transition. See how, ooh, it picks up really well on the brush. There is some kickback, and it does do that. Okay, so back to indie brands. As you guys know, I really do, not too bad. We're gonna work with it. As you guys know, I do work with, you know, a few indie brands. You know, Texas House of Glitters is one, Piper and Poppy Designs. I work with Gerard Cosmetics. I work with Rebel Rouge Labs. I work with BFT Cosmetics, BFTE Cosmetics, Hypnose Cosmetics. I work with a lot of indie brands because I feel indie brands are more personable and are more willing to connect with their customers than what these bigger brands do. And that's what I love most about indie brands. Now, the thing that's been getting me lately with indie brands is that there are some out there that, you know, started off as indie brands and pretty much forgot where they came from. An example, Morphe and ColourPop. It's like they got a little bit too big for their britches, and they just think nothing can stop them. You know what I'm saying? It's just weird how they act towards their customers now. It's just not, it's not the same as what they were when they were a smaller independent brand. And then I'll get to, you know, ColourPop in a minute. Another thing that I don't like about how bigger brands treat independent brands is because bigger brands are quick to take an idea from an indie brand in a heartbeat. Case in point, the Huda Beauty incident, where she took Beauty Bakery's idea. She did. She basically stole that idea. And didn't even, you know, apologize for it. Didn't even realize what she did was wrong. She just rolled with it and kept it going. I had an issue with that. I don't purchase Huda Beauty anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Another thing about indie brand theft is that it's done so often, and it sickens me to the core, because these indie brands, these smaller indie brands, they put their heart and soul and blood, sweat, and tears into their products, into their advertising, into, you know, everything. And for a bigger brand to come in and just take their idea from them, it's just beyond me. So, when I just said I was going to get to ColourPop, here we go. Alright, so the newest theft, independent brand theft going around is Bretman Rock's new collaboration with ColourPop. There is a brand called, I think it's Lemonhead, Lemonhead.la, I think that's what it's called. I might be wrong. I'll pop it at the bottom of the screen if I'm wrong. I can't remember off the top of my head. They had sent, they're known for those space glitters, you know, those really, really thick glitters. That's what they're known for. And they sent Bretman, you know, a PR package of them. Well, he went and turned around and, with his collaboration with ColourPop, made 2 glitters exactly the way that this brand does. Why? I don't get that. Why would you do that to a brand that supported you and that gave you products? And just, I don't freaking get it. Why somebody would do that. That is just insane. This shadow is really, really nice. The shade is really, really nice. I'm actually quite impressed right now. Why somebody would do that is beyond me. I don't get it. But the sad part about it is indie brands get their ideas stolen from them all the time. And like I said, these indie brands, you know, they put their blood, sweat, and tears into these products and everything, and have a connection with their customers. And just for that to be stolen and taken advantage of is just, it's ridiculous. And I don't like it. I'm going to go ahead and do my left eye, and we'll be right back. Looks really nice so far. I'm kind of like impressed with this so far. We only used 3 shades, so we still got a ways to go. All right, let's see here. I think I want to go in and use this shade Warm on the lid right here, and then I want to go in with Smooth to put into the crease. Now, while I was talking about, you know, indie brands taking, bigger brands taking from indie brands, it also works the other way around. There are some smaller indie brands that have taken from other indie brands, and that's pretty crappy if you ask me. Or ask me, not ask. That's pretty crappy if you ask me, that other indie brands do that. It's just, it's like we're all in the same business. Picks up really nice on the brush. We're all in the same business for the same reason, and it's just, there's enough room for all of us. I understand, you know, competition, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But there's enough room for all of us. So, yeah. Okay. Let's see how this works. Okay. Not too bad. She's a tad bit patchy. Just a smidge, but we're going to work with her. We are. We're going to work with her. All right. Next thing I want to talk about with indie brands is, I really hate talking about this because it just burns my soul that people do this. And that are people who start a business, you know, start a brand and scam people out of their money. Just in the past 6 months alone, I have seen 10 brands do this to people. 10 in 6 months. That is an astronomical number of people that are stealing money from their customers. And it gives people a bad taste on indie brands because they don't know who to trust. Okay, this one's a little hard to blend. I don't know if it's my brush or if it's the shadow itself, but it looks like it just wants to stay put, that it doesn't want to blend. It puts a bad taste in people's mouths when you get these people that want to start these brands and then they just scam people out of money. And what I mean by, if, you know, just in case you're not, you know, familiar with it, how they scam people out of money is they will take orders from them for products and they never give them out. They never ship orders out, or they'll say that they're shipped and they don't give a tracking number and things like that. And that just like burns me to no end, because there are authentic, sincere, genuine indie brands out there that are not like that. And you have these ones that are just complete assholes to people, and that puts a bad taste in people's mouths. Hold on. I sip on my tea. And that's why they don't buy from indie brands that often. They normally just buy from bigger brands because of stuff like this. And it hurts me so bad to see these people being taken advantage of from these people who are basically scammers. It's like, if you need money that bad, go get a job. I mean, don't scam people out of their hard-earned money. That's just not even cool. Alright. I am going to work blending this out because it looks like it's going to take me some time. Do my left eye, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm looking at this. I don't think I even want to put anything in the creases. I think this looks good enough. Warm was really hard to blend out. I had to work with it, but once it did, it looks really nice. So now I'm going to go in with this shade Spicy right here, and I'm going to place that on the lid. Another thing I don't like about this palette is that you have these two colors right here. You have Saucy and Happy, and they're somewhat similar. You have Happy's more yellow toned than what Saucy is. I think one of these two could have been taken out, and they should have put in like a champagne, not a champagne, but a light gold metallic in there, because I have nothing on this warm side to put in my inner corner in my brow bone, because over here low key is white with a pink shift to it. Clever is, it's like a mauvey purple. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the highlighter that I plan on using and put in my inner corner of my brow bone. But I wish there was like a light gold, or, you know, a warm tone, another light warm tone metallic in this to put in the inner corner and the brow bone, because there's not. So yeah, that's what I think about that. Okay, moving on. The thing about the scammer thing, it sucks, but just do your research before you plan on purchasing from an indie brand that you're not familiar with, or one that may have just started, or one that, you know, has only been around for a few months. You guys are more welcome to message me if you want, because I'm all things indie. So yeah. And the last thing The last thing I want to talk about, you know what? I should have tried this without it being wet. Oh well. The last thing I want to talk about with indie brands is how people are so, let's see how this looks. That's not too bad. People's hesitation of buying from indie brands just really gets me sometimes. Especially when they want to throw around the price reason. And I'm sorry, I think that is a bunch of bull. Because I had someone legit tell me that she was not going to purchase a $13 liquid lipstick from an indie brand, but turned around and purchased an $18, I mean not 18, a $21 lippy from Too Faced. What sense does that make? And her explanation was, well, and then nothing. Just, well. I'm like, okay. I mean, if you are iffy on the brand, I understand that. But if you are just, see, I don't like this. I don't like this at all because it's so dark you can't see it. So, the people's, you know, hesitation of buying from indie brands because of price. And I think that is like the stupidest excuse ever. Because these people, like I have stated, you know, they put their heart and soul into their business and in their products. And most of the times there are indie brands out there that are a little bit better than these bigger brands. At least that's what I've come across lately. I totally just did my left eye. Wasn't paying attention. But I just, I don't get that. You know, you'll turn around and you'll spend $50 on a palette because it smells like chocolate, or because it, I can't even explain it. You know, it smells like chocolate, or it has this brand's name on it, or this person endorses it, or that person, you know, loves it. But you're not willing to spend that amount of money on a smaller business. Especially when you are like really interested in the product, but then you find out the price and then you're like, that makes no sense to me at all. But I'm going to finish up my look. I'm going to show you guys swatches of this palette. Of course, they will be no primer on my hand, one swipe swatches, and I will do 3 at a time according to the color scheme. I'll keep the warms together and the cool tones together. So, here you go. So this is the finished look. I am really impressed with it. Oh, lipstick. I am pretty impressed with it. I, you know, really like it. It's a nice warm tone look, perfect for fall. I ended up taking the Gerard Cosmetics Starlet Palette, and in the shade Grace right here, I ended up putting it on my inner corner, on my brow bone, and just kind of like popped it in the middle of the lid to give it a little bit more lightness, because that shade that I put down was so dark. But yeah, that's the look that I came up with today. Pretty decent. It's pretty easy. What's going on here? Okay. Some thoughts about this palette. What's going on here? Jeez. Some final thoughts about this palette. It's okay. It's not, you know, wowing me to the moon, but I don't hate it. It's nice. I like it. I do wish they had a shade. God, what is going on? I do wish they had a shade like the Grace shade for me to, you know, put in the inner corner on the warm side, but they don't. That is a big issue. Warm is really hard to blend. You do have to work with it, and it is a tad bit patchy. I did notice a couple pans in this palette are not filled all the way. Sassy, Fresh, and there's a few, Calm and Cheeky are not filled all the way in this palette. I do kind of have an issue with that. But I think the only shade that really didn't have a lot of pigmentation, swatch-wise, was this one right here. And it is Witty. And Easygoing didn't really have a lot of pigmentation either, but you know, that's what the swatch is. Once I do a look with the cool side, I will put it on Instagram how it came out, and you know how the shadows were when I used them. Didn't have really much issue with fallout with the shades that I used today. It's a decent palette. The shadows are very soft to the touch. They yeah, it's pretty decent. It's nice, especially for beginners who don't know what kind of shades they like the most, if they want to play with more warm shades or if they want to play with more cool tones. So it's decent. It's nice. It is one of the better e.l.f. palettes that I have used, because you guys know me and e.l.f. are hit and miss. So yeah. This retails for $14, which I think that is a very good price for 18 shadows. Right now, you can only get it on the e.l.f. site or in like a standalone e.l.f. store. So like if you go into like a mall or a strip mall or whatever, and you see an actual e.l.f. store, it's going to be in there. From what I heard, it's going to be in Target in December. Not sure when in December, but it's going to be in Target in December. And this palette is also 100% vegan as well. And they do give you some eyeshadow ideas on the back, look ideas on the back to do. But shipping on it was horrendous. I am going to warn you that right now. It came out in September and it sold out like that. Then I actually I put a Instagram story. Do I have lipstick on TV? I put an Instagram story and I tagged e.l.f. in it, you saying, hey, you know, I can't wait to get my hands on this when it's come back in stock. And they replied back and said it would be mid-October. I got the email when it came in. It actually got back in stock a week later than what they said it was going to be. And then I waited 2 more weeks for it to come in. And I was like, why is this taking so long for this order to come in? I don't get it. So shipping on it was horrendous. But other than that, I think the palette is decent. It's nice. I'm not going, you know, head over heels for it. If you like something like this, by all means, go grab it. If you have other palettes like this, I would say skip it. But yeah, as far as indie brands go, you know, I know there are a couple out there that have put a bad taste into people's mouths, you know, with, you know, the scamming incidents and all that stuff. But not all indie brands are like that, you know. But you also have those, you know, bigger companies out there that are just as, you know, skeezy as indie brands, and they, you know, lie to their customers about their cruelty-free status and have the most terrible customer service ever. So, yeah. But as far as, you know, indie brands are, give them a shot. I mean, they're people just like you and me. You never know, whatever you purchase could help them, you know, pay their rent, or can help go towards the rent, or help go towards food or gas or whatever. You know, you never know what they're using this money for. This shirt makes me look like I got man shoulders. I don't. Okay. But, I mean, just give them a try. And like I said, if there's any brand out there that you're a little bit skeptical on, just do your research. You know, you're more welcome to message me. My Instagram box is open, and my Facebook Messenger is always open. I'm not really on Snapchat as much anymore, but yeah, just shoot me a message if there's a brand that you want me to look at or whatever before you purchase. Just let me know. And that is all that I have for you guys today. Don't forget to pick up your Piper and Poppy Designs Melissa Leah Garrett skincare collaboration set. Also, don't forget to pick up your Texas House of Glitters Melissa Leah Garrett glitter palette. Love this thing. Perfect for the holidays. That information on how to purchase it will be in the description box down below. And as always, you can follow me on Facebook at facebook.com/Melissa Leah Garrett, on Snapchat as Melissa Leah 1223, and on Instagram as Melissa Leah Garrett. Come on over, we have fun on those pages as well. I do not, however, have a Twitter account, so if you see one with my face and this gorgeous smile, report it because it's fake. Also, if that subscribe button is red, it's the wrong color. You need to change it. And don't forget to share this channel out to everyone as well. And while you're at it, go ahead and hit that notification bell, because unfortunately, YouTube was destined to make that bell a thing. That way you know when I'm posting, even though we all know I'm in post Tuesdays and Fridays. I love you all so much, and I will see you on Tuesday. Bye! Meow. My brows are just starting to do their own thing. It's like the Melissa Brow Show. Botox and full in. Dang, I done drank up all my tea.